The head coach of the Gophers, Gerry joins us now. Coach, you have made your mark in this business as a turnaround specialist. So when you walk into a situation like this where they haven't had the success in recent years that they want to have, what's the first order of business?
Well, I think probably the most important thing to me is that we've got to get assistant coaches that understand what we want to do. And I was fortunate enough to bring our guys with us, and I think that gives us a jump start. And then after 4 or 5 months, I presented Joel, my boss, a vision of what it's going to take to win in the Big Ten. And, I did that at every other job I stopped at. And sometimes I scared them a little bit, but it is what it is. That's my job. And as a new head coach, through the struggles, sometimes we want to just blame the coaches, but I think it's all of us that are accountable. And so coming to Minnesota, I said, this is what we have to do. This is where we need to go. I know we can't get there just like that, but let's have a 5-year plan and let's go from here.
Coach, we were here in the spring and there was a ton of people watching practice. We were here today and there was a bunch of people watching practice. A little unusual for a coach to open practice to the public. Why have you taken that position?
Well, I think right now, and we're going to do that for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll close it down. But right now in the position I am, and as I've taken programs around, I've sold it at the third team. And people don't know me. I've heard, I wasn't a big name hire and all those kind of things. I guess I didn't have a long enough name. Kill's pretty short. But, what I've tried to do is open up practice and let the people look and see how we coach, what we do. I don't try to hide how I am, and let them see us. That way I think they'll be a little bit more patient with us because they'll know what we're trying to do.
Coach, one of the things that I keep hearing is about how hungry these young men are, thirst for the knowledge of the game. Where does that, as far as using what happened last year, where do you cut off last year's experience from a football standpoint? Because you're still going to see some of that film as you get ready for your Big Ten games for this year. But how do you take some of the experiences last year and craft them differently so you can get what you need out of last year's film?
Well, I think the big thing with these kids is they've all been through a lot. Certainly the seniors, all the transition and losing a coach in the middle of the year, and Coach Brewster and his staff did a good job. Hey, a lot of times new coaches come in and say, hey, well, we're all trying to do the same things and work hard. Our job is to take the knowledge and the things that Coach Brewster did and his staff, and then the knowledge of what I've learned here at the university, and then try to move the program forward. So with that, let's give Coach Horton some credit. He did a great job, and we got some wins there at the end of the season, and that's what I try to look at. How do we win those games? What we do? I've seen some of the kids come together, and that's what I tell our players. If we can get you to play together like you did towards the end of the year, build on that, and understand who we are. I've been around a long time. If you can get everybody playing hard and busting their tail in, you get a break or two, you're in the game in the fourth quarter, kick a field goal, you can steal some games. And but we have to sell our kids. If we got 18 of them playing hard and 3 taking it off, we won't win a game. We just can't afford any room for error, and we got to play hard, and that's what we're telling them, and I believe that.
Coach, what have the players done since you've been here that's pleased you the most?
Well, I think they're really trying. Again, every staff's different. They've had so many guys. Why should they trust anybody? And so I think they've done a good job of working and trying to do what we ask them to do. I give our strength coach credit because he's got to spend the most time. College football is a little bit different now, is that I actually spent more time at Webb City High School coaching our players than I do in college football. So your strength coach is so important in his staff, and they've really bought into Eric. And so he's done a good job. I think they feel like they're a little bit faster and stronger and more ready to play. And as you say, I think they're hungry. I think it's like anything. Everybody gets tired of going, hey, what's the matter with Gopher football? What's these kids not doing? And I think they bought in. As I said, hey, guys, we can do it, and we can get things done.
Coach, it's interesting. You mentioned Coach Brewster, and when he came in, he talked very openly about Rose Bowls and Big Ten championships and things that haven't happened here in a long time. you have shied away from making the kind of bold proclamations that he made. Why? What philosophically, why have you done it differently?
I think every coach has a different way of doing it. I'm sure Coach Brewster instilled that because he wanted to show them a vision of where he wanted the program to go, and that's okay. You know, when I met with our team, I said, hey, the very top of your goal chart should be a national championship, and then you go down the goal chart, but you can't think about those goals until you do these things, and that's play hard, play together, you be accountable off the field, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I gave them about 10 things that they had to do before they could even think about the first goal. And so I think we have to concentrate on the little things before we can ever think about the big things. We know, I think everybody in college football knows what the ultimate goal is. You know, they all know that, but most of them don't know how to get there. You know, that's why we spend so much time on fundamentals. Frankly, we don't tackle very well, so we've got to teach them how to tackle. And so if we can do all those things, we can reach those goals. So it's maybe a difference in philosophy, but we're selling the same vision, but you know, with our team. But publicly, we're being honest, as this is what you have to do to get there.
New Minnesota head coach Gerry Kill. Coach, welcome to the Big Ten. Look forward to watching your team play this year. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.